come live in like a year and a half. So I thought I'd just do something different. I want to talk to you about something that's been coming up in my group coaching, and it's also been coming up in just conversations with friends. And I wanted to just jump on here and, hi Melania, talk to you guys about this concept because it's so important that we don't resist the things that are coming into our lives to actually help us to expand. So one of the things that is difficult for people when they really are trying to focus on abundance and they really want to expand their footprint, whether that's with their social circle, they're trying to make more money, they want to grow their business, they want to expand their family, whatever it is, when you want to expand, you have to be able to hold. And by that I just mean identify without judgment. Identify without judgment places that there could be fear-based beliefs and fear-based thinking there. So when you can identify, okay, this area, I have some fear, it is probably an inroad to scarcity for me, that's actually when you can start doing the work around expansion, around abundance, to create more. So like I said, I am in my group coaching, and this was coming up, and the example that I gave was, let's say you have one season of life, and in that season you just experienced overflow. So everything seemed to be working, you had more than enough money, you had great connections, friends, family, loved ones around you, you got to see them on a regular basis, your business or your career was growing, whatever it was that you were doing. So you had this period of time where just kind of, you would think about it and it would happen. It was just effortless, right? And now it's likely that you have experienced some sort of restriction, some sort of constriction that is making it seem like this space is smaller. It's too small for you now. You want to expand. When you are doing that, it's really important, again, to recognize why you feel that constriction. What exactly is it that you feel you don't have? What is the thing that you want to be expanding? And what are your beliefs around that? So, in the season where everything was going well, let's say you had a Dixie cup, and these are small little disposable cups, in case you're from outside the US, that we have typically, like, people use them for like mouthwash or whatever. They're just small cups. And let's say you had that cup and it was overflowing. It was just like everything was working, your cup was always full, you just felt in this place of expansion. And now you feel like you just have so much loss. It's like I'm looking at my cup and there's just a tiny amount of water at the bottom. But the thing is that people often don't realize that they've upgraded the container that they're in. So instead of a Dixie cup, now you have a full-size drinking glass, a tumbler or a thermos, or one of those water coolers that they dump on the coaches when they win the game. Now all of a sudden you have this huge container. So of course the same amount of water that was in the Dixie cup that was overflowing now seems like I have nothing in this container. And that's because you have actually upgraded. You've moved past your past limitations into a bigger space. Once you have that bigger space, by the way, if you don't have my Divine Feminine and Masculine course, I highly recommend getting it, because I cover in there exactly how to do these steps. So exactly how to expand. Expansion like that, the math is masculine. That's a masculine container step, and you need to have both. To create anything living, you must have a male and a female to create anything living. And so you have to have both. So this is not about gender. People get confused. This is about the energy, and therefore the steps, the action steps that you are taking in order to produce more of one of these two energies. So Again, you've expanded the container, meaning you likely are extremely good at doing stuff. You have figured out how to execute well the actions and the steps that you need to take in order to move and expand your outer world. So you have a big container. Now the abundance part, the overflow part, that's the feminine. That's the creativity, that's the expansion, that's the creation aspect of it. And so really being able to recognize, yes, I only have a little bit in this container right now, but a little bit is more than enough. And instead of focusing on, oh, I have nothing, I just everything is constricting for me, any kind of thing like these limitation mindsets, these stories that we start making up about why is there only a small amount of water in my container. Instead of making up these stories, recognizing, okay, I have created this incredible space, this wide open space for me to be able, the landscapers are here, so I'm just gonna step inside. But being able to recognize I have created this amazing and powerful container that can, anything I want, anything I desire can go inside of this container, and I have everything that I need in order to fill it up. One of the other things that sometimes gets people stuck is not just understanding or the interpretation of what's happening, but is trying to recreate the past. So in other words, you know how to fill up a Dixie cup, you know that small amount of water that you need, you know the steps that you need to do in order to fill up that cup. And so you try to take those same steps to get the same result with your bigger container. And it's not going to happen, or it's going to happen extremely slowly. If you let the faucet, for example, just trickle to fill up your Dixie cup, well, the thing is going to be filled up no matter how fast that faucet's coming out of there. It's going to be filled up, pretty fast, pretty quickly. You're going to see the result that you're desiring. The issue here is that same step, that same process of filling up the Dixie cup container will not work. It will not work for the new container. And so being able to tap into and get in harmony with what is this season now? What is the thing that I'm desiring to create? What does abundance look like in this season? I'm not trying to recreate the past and something I've already experienced. I'm actually trying to push forward and expand more. So this means that you have to be more tapped into your heart. You have to be more tapped into your intuition, more tapped into your creativity and the blueprint of the future. If you keep looking at the past, you're gonna get so frustrated, and it leads to this feeling again of lack. I just have a little bit. I have all of this stuff. And so when you're unable to hold scarcity because this new container is so big that what you do have looks so small inside of it, that if you are not able to hold that scarcity and use it as like the starting fuel, it's like, I love to cook, I love to bake. This is like the starter of your sourdough bread, okay? You need to recognize that little bit of water that you have, that little bit of something that you have in this now expanded territory is all that you need to actually create, no matter how many things you want to create, right? You can make so many loaves off of that one starter. And so that's what I really am, we're really working through in my group coaching right now, my advanced group coaching. And I also wanted to take time to announce that I'm doing a 30-day coaching it's called Radical Alignment Coaching, and it starts on the 4th, so it's going to be 30 days. These are, the last few weeks that we have of this year, and it's to really start pushing you and to start expanding your mind, start thinking and addressing the things that have not been addressed before. In fact, one of the things I've been filming, so the way that